Gordon Osano is my name. I come from Kendu Bay Town Ward. The village is called Ngoya. This place is in Homa Bay County. We border Lake Victoria, Homa Hills, and the rest, as far as the topography is concerned. I've heard the globe getting concerned in depth with matters climate change. It's real and it's there to stay. But remember, we have caused it. We are the source. Why do we say we need to reverse systems and bring back the planet to where God had created it? Because we are the ones who've created this devastation. In my environment, in my thought, in my way, my vision, my focus, I want to invite a strong, diverse partnership approach where we come, study and learn together on how, on a 16-acre plot, I've demonstrated how the environment in a micro way can be changed to drive away the fears that the climate change effects are going to bring to us. So you cannot plant a tree where it cannot grow. You cannot sustain a watershed where there is no vegetation. The dams will get dry when we don't conserve the environment, when we cannot plant vegetation. This is why I've not planted one particular. Some of the vegetation we have planted here are interluded with others to bring an ecosystem of all other aspects of nature in terms of vegetation, where the climate effects are controlled and generated. You see, runoffs takes place easily. An example is the Mau. When all the trees are cut, there would be no retention. All the water that has come as a result of rain, through real sheet and mass erosion, they get into streams and rivers, find their ways into lakes and oceans, then their levels rises. But this did not take place in the past. So I would invite a partnership forum, small and big, to come for a case study so that we can realize, because on this plot of land of 16 acres, there is no erosion, no mass movement of water. Due to the management and scientific approach in a natural manner, by which we have conserved the trees, their leaves, and the organic materials that we settle on the ground, that controls the movement of water. When it rains, all the water percolates into the ground. The ground is a very huge platform that absorbs million metric volumes of water into it, that only a little now moves to sustain our rivers. In this manner, even the blue economy of our lakes, recently we opened our port. But when all the rivers get filled with silt through soil erosion, transport them to the shores of the lakes, whether we spend billions of shillings to build the harbors and the piers, the transportation system would still come to a halt. This is as a result of the climate change system we are talking about. So I am open to the entire world, small and big partners, to come and do case study so that we showcase to the world that in a smaller way to the bigger way, from the micro to the macro, the climate patterns that bothers the world could be brought to a stop.
I just wanted to understand one aspect. As you were trying to reclaim this land, it appears it has a lot of stones, gravel. Why did you leave some and remove some?
Okay. We talk about nature. And when Adam and Eve were brought forth and given the Garden of Eden, it's a replica of what we have here today. Because Adam and Eve were on the earth planet. They were not in heaven. It had stones. It had rocks. It had sand. It had boulders. They have a role to play. One key role that rocks play on a farm, they control soil erosion. Another one, under the process of weathering, you cannot get soil from nowhere. We have chemical weathering, we have biological weathering, we have mechanical weathering. When these rocks are around and they break into tiny pieces, what we call the process of metamorphosis, they are the same types of material that translate after metamorphosis into soil. When they mix and blend up with the vegetative cover that we have left here, we end up with the soil that has humus. Because you cannot get soil from nowhere. You'll get it from rocks. The tiniest soil that you can ever see, however microscopic, it came from rock. So when you remove all the rocks from your farm, it's like you have removed all the soil from your farm. Even if you left the vegetation behind, many years, millions of years to come, the generations to come ahead would lack soil because soil erosion continues, however much we try to control it. But the only way we can resuscitate the situation of its disappearance is through the process of weathering that comes as a result of the present rocks, boulders, stones, rocks, then sand, then soil. So that is my basic reason in terms of science.
I think that from that angle you were able to use the available rocks to help you increase the soil content and quality within your farm so that you can get the rich results you are getting, enjoying in your farm as we speak.
Yeah, and at the same time, when the trees grows and crops, sometimes when it rains, in the midst and under the rocks, moisture stays a little longer. And that one, when the trees have their roots transcending each other into the areas and the dominions of the rocks, they get moisture and keep greener a longer time before the rains come back.